Excellent. So let's go ahead and hear from Kim Miller first, because she's the president of Arizona Women of Action, and then we'll do Hoke, and then we'll do Lisa Fink. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, representatives. Thank you for the opportunity to come and speak. Kim Miller, founder and president of Arizona Women of Action, and also Women for Families and Freedom. And the reason that we're here is we have intervened or made a motion to intervene into this case to save women's sports. And the reason we've done that is to represent women who are directly involved and impacted by this this law that was duly enacted last year and is in question right now, and the fact that our own Attorney General refuses to hold up or uphold the Arizona state law is very concerning, and it's affecting young girls. It has nothing to do with politics. It's just protecting girls and women in general. And we find it strange that we are having to do the job of the Attorney General and to stand up for the law. And the law was enacted to protect our own citizens. So we are concerned. We have over around 20,000 followers who consistently get our content, are very interested. We've had surveys done that a very high percentage of them are very concerned about what's happening to their daughters and whether they should even try to invest in sports training and things like that, because if they're going to go and compete in these sports and then have their places taken by biological boys, then it just affects their morale, their rights, clearly, their safety. Every aspect really affects these girls in Arizona. And so we're really surprised that our own Attorney General refuses to do her job. And even, as she is a woman, I would think that she would at least be concerned with upholding women's rights. And so we as Arizona Women of Action are the ones who are saying that we will stand up and do the job of the Attorney General if we have to. And thank you.
Thank you. I just have an initial follow-up question. What is the status of the Save Women's Sports Act case? Are you involved in that?
Well, we are being represented by America First Legal, and we are right now waiting to hear back from the Ninth Circuit, whether they will allow, because it was rejected in Tucson by Judge Zips, and so we filed at the Ninth Circuit, and we're waiting to hear back whether it will be passed through. And we are joined by 3 other moms, other women who are followers of ours as well, and women who we have connected with when we put together this motion to intervene. And 2 of them are here today.
Thank you. And just to reiterate, you had to get involved because Attorney General Mayes refused to do her job as the Attorney General to represent the state in this case, correct?
Correct. I mean, we have Superintendent Horne, which we're grateful for, that he's willing to stand up for our laws from his standpoint, but it really should be our own Attorney General should be upholding the law. And so we came along because we clearly feel we have an interest in this. It's impacting thousands and thousands of women and girls in Arizona, and so we wanted to be a part of it to help his case and to support Arizona women.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very concerned about this because Attorney General Mayes has refused to represent the state in other issues as well, and the legislatures had to intervene, which is very costly. So as we're coming forward and discussing the budget, perhaps we need to pull some from her budget, put it back into these other budgets, because we're having to use our funds to do her job. Clearly, she doesn't need as many. That's my personal opinion. Has she said anything about why she refuses to defend the law, or is she just staying silent like she is with this committee?
To my understanding, there's nothing really specific about it. I'm also concerned, I don't understand why she would not allow anyone from her office to represent. If she feels that she has a conflict of interest for some reason, why wouldn't she allow someone else from her office to represent Arizona?
Exactly. Yeah, I share that concern. How does your organization feel about the chances of winning the litigation in this?
Well, we do believe that we have a very strong case for being allowed to intervene, and once we do, I think that will help the case without having the voice of parents and of women in Arizona. I think it harms the case and the ability for the judges to hear and to get all the testimony that is important and impactful to how it's affecting people. So yeah, I think if we could intervene and we could all be a part of this, there's just, it's common sense. We just should be protecting every citizen in Arizona, which includes young girls. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming in to testify, because I'm aware of this case, but I haven't been following it closely, and I haven't listened to the oral arguments. Are they making the argument about the biological advantage that biological males have against women, and with experts and such?
We are making that case, that there is a biological advantage. Their point in this, and the reason that these two plaintiffs have come forward, is they believe that because they're on puberty blockers, or that they are too young and they're still prepubescent, that there is no difference between a girl and a boy at those ages, which it does not follow science at all. There are major differences between boys and girls, even from very, very young. Their heart size is different, their lung capacity is different, their muscle mass is different, and you can't, taking puberty blockers does not change that. And so the results will be dangerous for girls and unfair in every aspect for girls. And it also, it forces these girls then who are trying to get in there and compete and to share a locker room with boys and all of this, it really harms girls' ability to even focus on their sports. So that is a big concern in this issue. And the other problem I do want to make sure and let you know is there's a lot of families who want to come forward, and they're afraid to do that because obviously it puts them in an awkward position. They are called all kinds of names, that are transphobic, even though it has nothing to do with that. And so we have a voice because we're able to represent all these women who want to say that, but they're afraid. And I don't understand why we should be forcing our young girls to do the job of our lawmakers who are supposed to stand up for their rights. And we're asking these families to have to come forward and be bold in their own defense when we should have laws in Arizona, which the House and Senate does their job and works hard to get laws on the books that protect our people. And then if they are threatened, then it just throws everything off. So we need protection for our people, and it should not be based on whether our young girls will be willing to stand up and speak for themselves.
Thank you so much for saying that, because part of our concern too is that, and we're going to hear from some other speakers on some other matters today about how Attorney General Mayes has actually threatened other people, other elected officials. So I can only imagine the fear that regular people would have, and they don't have state resources coming to their defense against another state actor who's abusing her position. So thank you for that testimony. My final question for you, and then I'll open it up to the rest of the committee, is how do you feel that Attorney General Mayes, as a woman, is not standing up for women in women's sports?
Well, she's not allowing our voice to be heard. She's just deciding that she's going to remove herself from the entire conversation. It just makes no sense. Honestly, I don't know. I don't understand it at all. None of this makes any sense to most women that I talk to. And the only thing we could assume is that maybe it's just a political decision, and it's not based on the interest of girls.
Thank you. I think it is very obvious that it's quite just politically driven. Any other questions from the committee? Okay, I think we're good then. Thank you so much for coming to testify. I know it's scary, and we are always under threat with this executive branch that we have going on.
Yes.
So,
thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you.